Welcome to this episode of the Tour Review. This week's episode comes from Swaffham Raceway, so let's head on over to our commentator for the action, Paul Huggett.
Well, it's a fine sunny afternoon here in the heart of Norfolk, and 8 cars for heat number 1 on this afternoon's programme. Leading the pack away, that's 297 Richard Carter in the Archer Racing Chevrolet, and he's been just across the border in Suffolk. Local support with him in second position, 85 Colin Moss, 34 Dennis Harris behind that, a veteran as Dennis. His racing goes way back to the start of the 1970s, but he hasn't raced for a little while. It'll be interesting to see. And at the back there, problems for George Bolt in the 57 Ahern Racing car, and on this we got a replay straight up, and as you can see, very nearly takes out 31 Robert Harris as well, but it looks as though the rear wheel just became detached from the right rear of that 57 car. Dennis Harris powers through on the inside of Moss and goes off in pursuit of the leader. At the moment, Richard Carter in a fairly healthy lead, and as he goes through turn 1, Harris has really got the bit between his teeth. Not bad for an old one, as you might say. Although I'm sure Dennis wouldn't say that. And the Wisbech racer, he was up in the country in London some years back. He's racing the Guymer Racing 34 and giving a good account of himself so far. Colin Moss in the 85, no slouch either. Colin's just down the road in Bedfordshire. At the moment it's Richard Carter in the 297 who leads the pack from 34, and Dennis Harris, who's getting awfully close to that back bumper of the 297 car, and I'm sure that Dennis will not be averse to applying the pressure with his own front bumper should he get within. Well, no, what happened there? A bit of a loss of navigation for Richard Carter, and suddenly hops the curb, and it looks as though he may even get out of the race. He certainly went very wide, and that let Dennis Harris straight through. Dennis didn't have to do a thing. He has a couple of cars between himself and Moss in second, who's not hanging around. It certainly could put in a challenge, just flashing past the cameras, 348, Dave Williamson, and in that distinctive looking yellow and white car. Robert Harris there, the other member of the family racing today, or one of the members, but we've also got Darrell Harris in the 32, and Robert Harris's son, Dennis, and his cousin Darrell, the RAF officer, in the 32 car. At the moment, just a little bit out of the hunt. Robert Harris will focus on for a minute, and he's in pursuit of the main pack. You can see that up front his dad's having a tidy old tussle now from Mr. Moss in the 85, and Colin gets a shot at him, gets a push on that back bumper. Now, can he make that stick and get Dennis to move over? It doesn't look like it, not likely. And the checker flag comes down on the 34 car, so a pretty good win there. It's an interesting racing dicing. Dennis Harris the winner for Colin Moss in second, Robert Harris third. Dave Williamson picks up a useful fourth place, and he's gone in leaps and bounds in the last couple of seasons. At 32, Darrell Harris, making it 3 out of the family in the top 5.
Wow, what a fantastic finish to that race. Thanks, Paul. We're now going to take a few seconds to hear from our partners and sponsors. We'll be back after this. Here at WHR, we pride ourselves on the quality of our craftsmanship. For reasonable price quotes, call us on telephone or find us on Facebook. Or, failing that, find us at the racetrack. We'll be there. Will you?
And it's excursion into the pits for the V8 boys. Dennis Harris there just checking out some of the competition, obviously fairly relaxed about his own machine. The 85 there, as you can see, of Colin Moss shows what a sturdy beast these cars are. But they're 350 cubic inch or thereabouts Chevrolet V8 motors. They don't hang about, as you can see, and a very fast start again by Richard Carter for heat number 2. Harris is right there with him though, as is Moss. These three pretty much the class of the field this afternoon here at Swaffham Raceway. Nice wide track, as you can see on the bend, plenty of room to play with all that horsepower, with those tricky curves on the inside, which as we saw can catch you out. The dark blue and red car there is Dan Moss, and the first we've seen of him this afternoon having a little tussle there with Robert Harris in the 31. And George Bolt looking for an opportunity to get up there with the leaders. Pretty quick driver, a Formula 1300 stock car world champion, and racing goes battle on. We've got a very successful son in the business too. And it's bumper time when Dennis Harris gives a little bit of a tap on the 297 rear end. Richard Carter's not giving way anytime soon though. Keeps the hammer in it. And it looks like Darrell Harris moving up very quickly around 32. And serving RAF officer as very proud of it too. As he should be. And he's absolutely flying today. The brakes there had to come on very, very quick. I think he was thinking about doing a little bit of a move on the back bumper of the Colin Moss car. Didn't need to, and went through on the inside at great speed. Got up in there amongst them, and he's certainly giving Uncle Dennis a hard time there. Goes through on the outside this time, so Darrell Harris passing left and right. He sets off after the leader. 297 Richard Carter will see that bright yellow and green machine behind him, and he goes very wide coming out of turn 2, gets the back end of the car out. Darrell Harris goes through on the inside. Dennis Harris now is firmly back in third with behind that the 50. And in the wall, and into the passing George Bolt car goes Richard Carter. That was bad news. Dennis Harris back to escape from that too, as you can see from the replay. Wallop, and there it is. I'm not sure as either of those two cars are going to make it after that particular wreck, and that leaves the race very firmly in the hands of Darrell Harris, who comes home with the checkered flag in sight to win heat number 2. Keep it in the family. And Dennis Harris picks up second, Colin Moss third, Dan Morrison fourth, then Robert Harris in fifth place in the 31, and Dave Williamson in 348 is in sixth.
Wow, what a fantastic finish to that race. Thanks, Paul. We're now going to take a few seconds to hear from our partners and sponsors. We'll be back after this.
Extreme sports cover. Speak with Totally Sports Insurance. Don't leave it until it's too late. Enquire today.
Welcome back, everybody. Heading over now to Swaffham Raceway for the feature final, and your commentator once again is Paul Huggett.
This is the chase for the gold.
And we're back at Swaffham Raceway with the lights coming on as evening draws on. Norfolk's a county that's always been very keen on its stock car racing. And there's always been some very good tracks in the area. East Anglia, much a hotbed of the sport. They're ready to roll, and who's it going to be this time? The Harris family certainly been very strong. Richard Carter deserves a lucky break, I think, after his early starts and quick getaways, and once again he does the same thing. Now, can he make it stick this time? He certainly had mixed fortunes. The man from Suffolk in the 297 Art Trek car, and this time a very good start too by Colin Moss, who powers into second place. Behind that it's Dennis Harris and then Dave Williamson. And Dave setting a decent speed there. Be nice to see him get into the top 3 if he can in this feature final race, which rounds off the afternoon evening sport at Swaffham. And Carter's lead being eroded ever so slightly by Colin Moss, who's certainly not determined. And Darrell Harris, what a move, through on the inside of Dave Williamson to pick up another place. And Darrell certainly seems to have a bit between his teeth as well this evening. So the Harris family certainly running very, very strongly indeed. And Dennis Harris putting on a particularly good show for a fellow who's not the youngest man out there by any stretch of the imagination. His career goes back a very long way, though. He knows all the tricks, and he pulls a few more of them now and powers through into the lead on the inside of Richard Carter, who didn't do a thing about it. He's having another go at trying to get back at Dennis there, though, but to no avail. Dennis gets away and certainly has that car running very sweetly indeed. So Ghana Racing doing a great job on that one. Down the inside, he's having a look, can't quite make it stick yet, but Darrell Harris in the 32 certainly isn't going to take the pressure off anytime soon, and he's going to try it. but he's certainly got Colin Moss all over him as well as he tries to do so and get by Richard Carter. Hanging in there, and he's a determined customer, is Richard, and he will take a bit of shifting. Daryl Harris is going to do that physically, whether he'll get an opening to get through, which he did manage to do before. He's just biding his time at the moment. The pressure will certainly be on. Robert Harris now through into 4th place, and something occurs there in turn 4 as far as the lead, the previous leader rather, Richard Carter, was concerned because he lost something with traction. It looks like he may have bent the bumper against the tyre. I don't think there was any contact necessary from Daryl Harris, but Daryl will be now under pressure himself because he's got Robert behind him. The two cousins racing it up as the feature final goes into the closing stages. A little bit of smoke blown out of the 32 car this time. I don't think there's anything to worry about. The engine will be getting a little bit warm. The temperature's quite high for this particular meeting. And Robert Harris turning on the pressure to try and get up there. Meanwhile, up there, Dennis Harris has actually had that gap narrowed down now by Daryl, who really is turning on the pressure. Can he hang on there? He's got two laps to go now, really. And it looks pretty cool in the 34 car, I have to say, and we've seen him resist all sorts of pressure during the course of the racing. And Daryl Harris has got to make his mind up. If he wants to shift Uncle Dennis out of the way, he's got a lap to do it in. And as they go through into turn 1, he gets a little bit of a nudge on the 34 car. He's putting the pressure on, but no dice. There's no movement there from Dennis Harris. He's got it all together. He gets another hit going through turn 3 and 4. The car's very sideways as he comes out of turn 4, but it's the checkered flag for the veteran from Wisbech, Dennis Harris in the 34, and Daryl Harris takes the 2nd place. And I think we're going to find that it's a total Harris lockout in this feature final at Swaffham, because Robert Harris does in fact pick up that 3rd place. George Bolt gets 4th, Colin Moss is in 5th, Dave Williamson 6th place, and Daniel Moss in 7th position. So some cracking racing here at Swaffham, a racetrack well suited to these cars, and let's hope we see them back in 2019. So well done Dennis Harris on winning this feature final.
If you want to witness the V8 Stock Cars Tour in action, your next opportunity is Saturday the 17th of August at Matcham's Raceway, Ringwood. Click on the link in the video for more information, tickets, prices and address. All of the action from the V8 Stock Cars Tour from Ringwood Raceway will be shown here in 2 weeks' time only on the Tour Review.